Hi, everyone. Welcome to our webinar, which we are conducting actually focused on those who are planning to take up IELTS exams happening in the year 2026. This is the best time to start. And as per our experience, we know for a fact that most students are struggling to figure out where they should start their preparations, what they should do, how this examination is structured and whatnot. So all these things will be covered in today's masterclass. So first things first, let me explain why this examination is different from English. So you might be fluent with the English language. However, you might struggle when facing this examination because just because you know your English, you are not going to get a high band score. Instead, you need to be conversant with the technical elements behind each of the four pillars tested at this examination. So you need to understand how your knowledge is tested and how the marker is awarding marks to you. And because of it, it's essential that you gain an in-depth understanding about the techniques or the technical elements behind the IELTS exam to be in a position to achieve an extremely good band score at your real examination. So that's why practice is key, and you have to therefore be conversant with each syllabus area, which consists of the four main elements. And you need not worry about it because we at IELTS Tuition, we have developed a study program with the prime intention of taking you through the entire syllabus to make sure that you are well conversant with how each element can be tested, how your knowledge levels can be tested, which will ensure that you gain extremely good marks at your real exam. And also, we offer in-depth feedback with the prime intention of ensuring that you understand your shortcomings when conducting preparations rather than facing problems at your real examination. Because the objective of feedback should be to figure out what your shortcomings are, what your mistakes are, because these mistakes or shortcomings can be fixed when you are conducting revision. And therefore, you are in a position to achieve an extremely good band score at your real examination. And having said that, let's try to gain an understanding of how this examination is structured. So this examination is split between four different modules. There are two separate modules which are the easiest, which are the listening and reading examinations. And these elements consist of 40 different questions each. And the toughest parts are your writing and speaking examinations because most students do not have a good understanding of how to structure their writing elements or how to structure their answers when they are facing the writing examination. And at the same time, most students are struggling a bit with grammar, proper use of grammar and whatnot. So that's why most students struggle with the writing examination. And when it comes to the speaking exam, again, due to a lack of understanding of how you are supposed to gain marks and at the same time how to structure speeches, most students end up getting extremely low band scores in these two elements. So we at IELTS Tuition, we provide heavier attention towards writing and speaking examinations because this is where, as I mentioned earlier, these are the areas in which students struggle a lot. And looking at the two different versions, this exam is split into two different elements. There are a set of students who want to pursue this examination with the intention of fulfilling their educational needs. So those who are following professional qualifications or academic qualifications, you might be planning on attending a foreign university or pursuing some type of a foreign professional qualification. If you're one such individual, you should follow the IELTS academic program, whereas there are another set of students who are trying to migrate to another country or find a job in another country. And these type of individuals have to face the IELTS general training program. So if you are pursuing your educational needs, you have to take up the IELTS academic examination. Whereas if you want to migrate to another country or if you are trying to find a job in another country, then you have to face the IELTS general training program. Okay, so that's how your exam is structured. And then let's dive deeper to figure out what you need to focus in terms of writing and speaking examinations. So as I mentioned earlier, out of the 4 modules, the writing and speaking exams are the toughest. So that's why I want to highlight how your knowledge is tested in these exams and what the examiners are going to look at when it comes to awarding marks. So first things first, directing your attention towards the writing exam, the examiners are awarding marks looking at 4 different angles or 4 different elements. The first angle or the first element is in terms of task achievement and the clarity of your response. So the examiner is trying to figure out whether you have fully answered the question at hand. So most students struggle with this area because first things first, there's a tendency for them not to clearly understand what the requirement is. So there are various different elements which you need to look into with the intention of gaining a clear understanding of the requirement. If you do so, this is the first step towards developing an answer or developing a response which is totally aligned with the requirement at hand. And then the examiner is going to check whether about your coherence and cohesion levels. So the examiner is going to test whether your content is logically organized and connected. The points which you have indicated in your response, whether these points are connected to each other or not. If there's some type of an issue in terms of connection, then you are going to lose marks. So there are certain techniques which you need to adhere to ensure that what you write at your examination, all the points are connected to each other in a logical manner. And lexical resource is another element which is looked at when awarding marks to you. So the examiner is going to test whether your vocabulary is precise, and at the same time, the range of words you utilize. If you use the same type of words in a repetitive manner, you are not going to get good marks for your writing examination. So it's essential that you understand or take steps to improve your range, which is quite easy because we have dedicated some resources with the prime intention of increasing your range in terms of vocabulary. So when you fix all these problems, then you will get good marks for the writing examination. And lastly, you will be awarded marks due to the use of your grammar as well as the accuracy of the grammar which you utilize in the writing examination. So the variety and correctness of structure and whether your response is grammatically accurate or not, whether there are any spelling mistakes, major spelling mistakes throughout your answer script, all these things will be tested in terms of the writing examination. And then let's let's look at how your knowledge is tested in terms of the speaking examination. So at the speaking exam, the speaking examiner is first things first going to check fluency and coherence, whether you can speak smoothly without any hiccups, without too many pauses, without any filler words, and whether you can keep your ideas logically connected. I said that in writing. The examiner is testing whether your content or the answer is logically organized and connected. A similar approach is adopted at the speaking exam as well in terms of checking your fluency and coherence. And again, just like in the writing exam, lexical resources are a major element considered by the speaking examiner. So the speaking examiner is going to look at whether you have the possibility of using a wide range of words in an accurate manner, and whether you are selecting words which are aligned with the topic at hand or not. All these things will score marks. And at the same time, the grammatical range and the accuracy of this range will be tested just like in the writing exam. So the examiner is going to test whether you use a variety of sentence structures and how correct these sentence structures are, whether you are repeating the same words over and over. All these things will be tested. And especially in the speaking examination, your pronunciation skills will be tested. So the examiner is going to see whether your accent is easy to understand, whether you are sounding clearly, and whether you are stressing certain words and sentences appropriately, and also your natural intonation. All these things will be considered by the speaking examiner. So as I mentioned earlier, the writing and speaking elements, since these elements are graded by human markers, these are the two toughest examinations out there when it comes to the IELTS examination system. So it's essential that you gain an understanding of how your performance will be measured. And when developing our study resources at IELTS Tuition, we have made sure to cover all these elements so that you gain a clear understanding of how your performance is measured. And when you know how your performance is measured, you are in a position to address all these elements to make sure that you achieve an extremely good band score at your real examination. All right. And then let's try to figure out where students struggle the most. So almost 90% of the students, almost all the students out there, 90% of the students out there, they are uncertain of where to begin. What are we supposed to do when it comes to facing this examination? Can we, do our studies on our own? Do we need to adhere to a structured study process, or should I simply read a book or a textbook which is out there? There's a lot of uncertainty. And even when you have access to study resources, you don't know where to start. So this is a problem, but don't worry. We have made sure to develop 3 different study plans. I'm going to take you through these 3 different study plans in a little while. Then you will understand which study plan best fits you. And also then you'd realize what you need to do. You need to stick to a certain study process to make sure that you go through the entire syllabus whilst completing various different activities. After learning a certain syllabus area, you are supposed to test your knowledge by conducting a certain activity. So, and after completing the study process, you have to test your knowledge by attempting fully fledged exam type mock exams under exam conditions before you walk into your examination. So this is the type of a study process which we have developed at our institution. I'm going to take you through these elements in a little while, because as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to take you through our study plans, which we have developed at IELTS Tuition. And also, most students are not too comfortable with the speaking exam because most students worry about the fluency in the way in which they handle the English language, and at the same time, how the examiner is going to judge their performance. So I mentioned the fact that previously I mentioned that your speaking test or your speaking examiner is going to look at 4 main elements. Most students, they don't know what these 4 main elements are. So if you're not too conversant with these 4 elements, if you're not too conversant about how your performance is going to be graded, then definitely this will impact your nerves in a negative manner. So we have developed some resources to help you to get rid of these nerves in terms of tackling the speaking examination. And also, when it comes to the reading exam, most students run out of time. Why? Because you just have 60 minutes in which you have to attempt 40 questions. You have to read through 3 different passages. And when you have to do all these things within just 60 minutes, if your reading speed is not up to par, if you cannot comprehend what is highlighted within each reading script, then you are going to struggle. Because take it from me, if you run out of time, if you are not in a position to attempt all 40 questions successfully within 60 minutes, if you run out of time, you will have to repeat this examination. Because if you run out of time in the reading exam, you're not going to get a good band score when the results are out. So it's essential that you take steps to practice your reading. Again, need not worry. We have developed some resources which are primarily focused on, making sure that you take steps to improve your reading speed, reading capabilities, improve your comprehension skills. And when this is the case, you can easily face this examination without any hiccups. on the day of your real exam. And also, most students struggle with the writing element, as I mentioned earlier, because you have to attempt two different tasks, which is not easy. And on top of that, you have to structure your responses appropriately. You have to think about grammar. You have to see whether you have to ensure that each of the points which you have highlighted are logically connected with each other. If not, you are not going to get good marks. And on top of that, uh, when you are attempting the writing exam for the first time, if you have not practiced writing under real exam conditions, instead, if you're practicing or if you're trying to attempt the writing exam for the first time on the day of your exam, then nothing will come into your head because you are stressed out. So this stress is created due to the platform shock as well, because if you're not too conversant with how the real IELTS platform works, then you will struggle with the technicalities behind the real exam platform. That is why at IELTS Tuition we have taken steps to replicate the exact exam platform which is used at the IELTS examinations, so that you have the opportunity of practicing under real exam conditions. So you have enough time to get your bearings with the technicalities behind the exam platform, which will ensure that you're comfortable with the platform. When you're comfortable with the platform, then you will navigate stressful situations without any hiccups on the day of your exam. And also, in terms of the listening examination, some students are unfamiliar with the British, Australian, or the American accents. If that is the case, you're not going to get a good band score for your listening examination. Again, don't worry. We have developed some resources which are primarily focused on improving your listening capabilities. When developing our resources, we have made sure to utilize all three accents, British, Australian, and American accents, to make sure that you are well aware and conversant with these three different accents. If so, you are not going to struggle at your real examination. All right. And in order to avoid all these type of pitfalls, we have developed a 3-step process at IELTS Tuition. So step number 1 is to learn. So we have developed short tutorials with the prime intention of teaching you syllabus content, because as I mentioned earlier, if you are to get a good band score, you have to gain an understanding about how your knowledge is tested and the technicalities behind this exam. So that is why you need to watch the tutorials to learn all these technicalities behind this examination and how you should, what you should do to achieve the best type of marks. And after learning, your study process will not or should not stop. Instead, you need to practice your knowledge. So with the intention of ensuring that you have the opportunity of practicing your knowledge, we have included some activities after each tutorial. So after watching each tutorial, you will gain a good understanding of the syllabus area. And after gaining this knowledge, your job is to practice on your own and see whether you are in a position to implement the same techniques under exam conditions. So when you are practicing these activities which we have developed, you will practice under exam conditions because you have access to the exam platform which we have developed. So each of the activities which you practice will be done under exam conditions, which is the best way to get your bearings with the technicalities behind the IELTS exam platform. And on top of that, make sure that you are in a position to manage stressful situations, because in this exam, your knowledge levels will be tested definitely. On top of that, if you are incapable of managing stressful situations, you are going to struggle a lot, because if you panic, if you're not too conversant with the exam platform, for instance, because of that, if you panic, then panic leads to brain freeze. Brain freeze is a situation where you are supposed to think, but nothing comes into your head. You are supposed to speak. You cannot speak comfortably. You are supposed to type something. You're supposed to do the writing exam, but nothing comes into your head. So in order to avoid all these complexities, it's essential that you practice under real exam conditions. That is why we have taken steps to replicate the exact exam platform which is used in real IELTS examinations. So you have the opportunity of not just learning, but to practice under exam conditions. And you also have access to mini mock exams and full length mock exams so that you can test your knowledge under exam conditions, which is the best way to ensure that you are well poised to achieve an extremely good band score at your real examination. And lastly, we provide tutor feedback as well. So in a little while, I'm going to take you through the exam platform or our student dashboard. Then you will realize how we have structured all these things so you can easily track your performance. You can easily track where you stand as a student. You can easily see what your shortcomings are. And these shortcomings, when you understand the shortcomings, you can take steps to overcome these shortcomings when conducting your revision. And on top of that, we provide in-depth tutor feedback, especially focused on full-length mock exams. In terms of the writing examination, we provide annotated feedback to make sure that you know your exact faults. And when conducting the speaking examination, similarly, focused on the elements which I highlighted earlier, we provide in-depth tutor feedback. So the three-step process is with regards to learning by watching tutorials. Then you have to practice by conducting activities, attempting mini mock exams and full-length mock exams. After doing so, you will receive tutor feedback so that you know where you stand as a student and what you need to do to improve your chances of getting an extremely good band score at your upcoming IELTS examination. All right. So having said that, let me quickly take you to the study plans. I said that you need to adhere to a study plan. So this is our website. Under academic or general pages, you can gain access to the study plan. So I'm going to take you through the study plan which we have developed for academic, which is quite similar to the general study plan as well. So if you scroll down, you'd see that you have access to a personalized roadmap. So when you click on this button, which reads as view the plan, you will gain access to 3 different study plans. So the 2-week intensive study plan is focused on students who are planning to take up their exams in the upcoming 2 weeks. So this is, you need to, if you adhere to this 2-week plan, you need to dedicate at least 24 hours of study time in the first week because there's a lot of work to be done. And then in week number 2, you need to dedicate 17 hours of study time. So if you are planning to take up your exam in the upcoming 2 weeks, you need to spend a lot of time. You need to put in a considerable amount of effort. That's why you need to dedicate 24 hours to complete the tasks which are allotted for week number 1, and then dedicate 17 hours to complete the tasks which are dedicated towards week number 2. And alternatively, we have a 4-week balanced study plan as well. If you stick to the study plan, you just need to dedicate 11 hours in the first week, 13 hours in the second week, and 12 hours in the third. And in the final week, which is the 4th week, you are simply supposed to attempt the 2 full-length mock exams. And if you want to conduct your preparations in a relaxed atmosphere, we have a 6-week comprehensive study plan. And if you stick to this study plan, you just need to dedicate something like 7 to 9 hours of study time per week. So your workload is lesser compared to the 2-week or the 4-week study plans. And in the final week, you simply need to dedicate time to attempt the full mock exams, which are full length, 2 full-length mock exams. All right, so you can access these study plans via our academic and general pages. And I said that most students struggle to figure out where they need to start, how they should conduct their preparations. We have addressed your concern. That's why we have included 3 different study plans so that you can select your preferred study plan and start your preparations. And also on a weekly basis, you'd know what you are supposed to complete in terms of your preparations. So those are our study plans. And having said that, let me quickly explain what our learning management system gives you, or what we offer at IELTS Tuition. So we offer lessons, as I mentioned earlier. These lessons are tutorials, and these tutorials are intended to teach you the syllabus elements covered in the IELTS exam. Then you have access to practice sets as well. These are exam style questions, and we provide instant marking as well. So I was talking about activities as per our 3-step study program. So this is the second step in which you have to practice your knowledge by attempting various different activities, mini mock exams, and full length mock exams. And as I mentioned earlier, we offer in-depth tutor feedback focused on all students, and we offer 2 mock tests, 2 full-length mocks, which should be attempted under real exam conditions via the exam platform which we have developed, which is the exact replica of the IELTS exam platform. And also, we offer a study roadmap as well. Even after sticking to our 3 study plans, which you saw a while back, if you feel that you are falling behind, or if you need some additional motivation, don't worry. You can get in touch with our tutors via our WhatsApp group. Simply drop us a message. We will DM you, and we'll see what your shortcomings are, and we'll take steps to develop or share personalized study plans with you as per your requirement. All right. And you also have the opportunity of gaining access to our study resources free of charge by creating a trial account. So before I explain how you should gain access to this trial account, let me quickly tell you what we offer under the free resources. So you have access to a personal student dashboard via which you can keep tabs about your preparations. We have integrated a lock-unlock mechanism so that you are in a position to conduct your studies in a process rather than conducting your studies in a haphazard manner. So we have integrated a lock-unlock mechanism within our student dashboard as well. I'm going to take you through these elements in a little while. Then you'd gain a better understanding of what I'm talking about. And we have also created the real IELTS simulator on which you can attempt each mock exam, mini mock exam, and activities under exam conditions. And under the free trial account, you gain access to 4 free mock tests, which include 2 reading mocks and 2 listening full-length practice exams. So you are in a position to gain an understanding of how your knowledge is tested and how you fare under real exam conditions. And also, you will benefit from the weekly webinars and workshops which we conduct, just like what we have covered in today's webinar. We are going to take you through mock exams, questions, as well as answers in the future webinars and workshops which we have scheduled for you. All right, so all these things are included in the free trial. So let me quickly explain how you can gain access to the free trial. So you can simply click on this button. You have to select whether you are poised to take the IELTS academic examination or the general examination. So go to your relevant page, click on the Start Your Free Trial Account button, and once you have clicked on this button, you can create a free user account. Once you have created a free user account, you'd gain access to our student dashboard, and via our student dashboard, you will gain access to the free resources or the study material on offer. So we measure your performance by utilizing something called experience points or XPs. So by looking at the XPs, you can easily identify where you stand as a student, how much you have completed so far, and whatnot. So you can see it in here, and you can see the XP bar as well, which indicates out of all the resources you have access to, how much you have completed so far, and you can easily gain an understanding of the upcoming webinars in this area. And most importantly, via the study material tab, you will gain access to the study material which are available under the free and paid courses. So you can see the 4 different tabs, 5 different tabs actually: listening, reading, writing, speaking, and full-length mock exams. So all these resources can be accessed in one single place. And as I mentioned earlier, we have integrated a lock-unlock mechanism. By looking at this page, you can see that there are 1, 2, 3 elements which are locked. You have access to them, yet they are locked. Why is this the case? Because you have to complete phase number 1 in order to gain access to the resources available under phase number 2. We have integrated this system to ensure that you stick to a certain study process, a streamlined study process. If not, if you conduct studies in a haphazard manner, you're not in a position to gain an in-depth understanding of each syllabus area. So that is why we have integrated this lock-unlock mechanism. And as you can see, I've already completed the first mini mock. Due to this fact, this is shown in green. Since I've completed this, I've unlocked mini mock 2 as well. So as I mentioned earlier, we have replicated the exact exam platform which is used in your real examination. That's exactly what you can see in here. You'll see the timer as well as the instructions and whatnot. So this platform works just like in your real examination. So once you're done with this mock exam, under the performance results tab, you can gain an understanding of your marks. And on top of that, you have the opportunity of understanding which of your answers were accurate, which were inaccurate. And on top of that, you gain access to the correct answers as well. So in one single place, you can practice your knowledge under exam conditions. Then you can test your score and also understand what your shortcomings are. All right, so you can gain access to all these things via our study material tab. And as I mentioned earlier, we have integrated performance trackers across all 4 elements: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. So your performance in terms of syllabus coverage or coverage of the study material which you have access to is measured utilizing XPs or experience points. And you can see that it indicates our performance summary indicates the number of activities which you have completed as well, because as I mentioned earlier, just learning the theoretical elements via the tutorials won't help. You need to practice. That's why we are keeping tabs about your performance in terms of activity completion. So this is how the exam platform works. So I hope after this webinar, via the WhatsApp group, I will share the link to our website. So I hope you will create a free use account and start utilizing our resources to get your bearings with how your knowledge is tested at this examination. And let me quickly tell you what we offer at IELTS Tuition. So we offer 3 packages: the starter, pro, and premium. So if you have already learned all the syllabus areas under the IELTS exam, and if you simply want to test where you stand as a student before walking into the exam, simply go for the starter package, which is priced at £29. And this is perfect for confident learners seeking exam simulation and tutor feedback. So under the starter package, you will gain access to 1 full mock with tutor feedback. And this full mock exam can be attempted under exam conditions via our IELTS exam simulator. So by paying just £29, you will gain access to 1 single mock exam. You will get tutor feedback within 48 hours. Then before walking into the exam, you will understand where you stand as a student. And if you're not too happy with your band score or the score which you have achieved concerning mock number 1, then you can upgrade to pro or premium. Instead, alternatively, if you're happy with your band score which you have achieved for this mock exam, you need not invest further. Simply walk into your real examination. And the pro package is designed for those who are yet to gain an in-depth understanding about all syllabus areas, how your knowledge is tested and whatnot. And this is priced at £59. And if you want the full package, everything is covered under the premium course, which is priced at £149. So the main difference between the pro and premium packages is the fact that via premium, you have access to an additional set of mini mock exams, and you have access to 2 full mock exams. And we will be providing tutor feedback focused on all these elements under the premium course. So if you really want to improve your chances of achieving your target band score, go for premium, because this consists of all tutorials which come with pro. And on top of that, you also have access to an additional set of activities which are intended to ensure that you practice your skill set before walking into the examination. And at the same time, you have access to 2 full mock exams. And once you receive tutor feedback, you will know for sure what your shortcomings are. You can fix your problems during revision which will ensure that you achieve your target band score without any hiccup. And the premium package comes with a band score guarantee. So each package, once you invest on each package, you will have access to each package for a total of 4 months. And if you invest on premium, and if you're not in a position to achieve your preferred band score, do not worry. We will extend your access by an additional 6 weeks on top of the initial 4 months you have access to the premium course. So you can invest on your preferred course by clicking on either of these buttons. This will direct you to the payment gateway via which you can pay by card, both debit or credit, to invest on your preferred course. Once you have invested on your preferred course via the student dashboard, you will gain access to the study material which are relevant to your course which you have invested on. You can see some of the faces are frozen. Why? Because these faces will be unlocked when you have access to paid content. All right, so that's what we offer at IELTStuition.com. Having said that, it brings us to the Q&A. So we have Fuzz, our co-tutor, available with us. So if you have any question, please drop a message via the chat. Fuzz, as well as myself, we will be addressing each of your concerns. So if you have any questions, please drop a message to our chat, and we will address all your concerns. I'm going to pause the recording. All right, folks, thank you very much for the questions. I hope I addressed everything. So if you have any queries, you might be watching this, the recorded version, because the recorded version will be available via our website as well as our YouTube handle. So if you are watching the recorded version and if you have questions, don't worry, drop us a message via the WhatsApp group, and you can email us as well. We offer 24/7 platform help as well. So simply visit our website and scroll down to the footer via which you can get in touch with us. Our email is hello@IELTStuition.com. This is our phone number. Drop us a message via this number, or simply click on the contact our team button and drop your query. Our admin staff will get in touch with you via email during office hours. And having said that, it brings us to the end of this webinar. I hope you gained a good understanding of what this examination is all about and how your knowledge is tested and what you need to master in the upcoming weeks. I hope you will start your preparations right now. Simply visit our website, which is www.IELTStuition.com, via which you can create a free user account and gain access to our resources. So before investing on a paid course, go through our free resources, get your grips with how we conduct our study process. If you're comfortable with our study process, then go ahead and we invest on your preferred course. So thank you very much for joining. I'll see you guys next week. I don't think that I'd be in a position to do the webinar on Saturday. If so, I will have to do it on Sunday, but we are undecided as yet. So I will see you guys next week. And in the next week's webinar, I'm going to take you through a mock exam so that you understand how your knowledge is tested and how to gain a good band score in your upcoming examination. So thank you for joining. I'll see you guys next week. Until then, take care and good night.